So this morning I popped down to a location called Badbury Hill, which is quite a well-known wood in Oxfordshire, which I have photographed before in a previous video, so I'll pop a link to that video above. It is actually well known for its beech wood, actually. So there's a beech plantation here. It's a fantastic group of beech trees which work really well in mist, but actually we don't have any mist this morning. So we've come and explored this area of conifers, and they're really interesting conifers. I'm actually not sure what species they are. They've got this kind of orange leaf to them rather than the usual green, which I think is quite unique. So I'm hoping we'll be able to get some shots of that this morning. I say we, I'm actually joined by my friend Tom Peters this morning, so I'm going to show him around here as well, and hopefully we'll get some nice images this morning. So I think one of the things which I'm going to be trying to do this morning is really try and celebrate the colours which are in this wood at the moment. As I mentioned earlier, we have these firs which have turned orange. I don't know what species they are. If you know what species they are, then do let me know. But they're really interesting, and it's carpeted this floor with these orange needles as well, so there's really vibrant colours going on. It's a very grey, wet day, but I think by sticking a polarizer on the lens as well, it's just helping to bring some of those colours out. And what I'm hoping maybe this morning is to try and get some more intimate images which are just celebrating these colours a little bit more. So here I found a birch tree which has got really nice orange leaves, and then behind that you've got moss-coloured sort of twiggy branches of these firs, so that's got a bit of a green background to it. And there's also yellows going on there as well from the firs, where the needles are still clinging to the tree slightly higher up, and they're still yellow, so it's just some really nice colours. So I'm trying to zoom in at the moment. I've got my 24 to 105mm lens on there, and I've got it right out at 105mm. I've got a polarizer on as well because we've had a lot of rain, so I just want to chop any glare off those leaves and try and bring those colours out. And I think there might be an image here. I'm just trying a few different compositions, focusing on that birch, just trying to see if I can make something work. The other thing we've got is a breeze. It was quite strong up in the beech wood where we were earlier, but down here it's a little bit more sheltered, so it's less of an issue. But actually I think in some ways, if there's a little bit of wind movement in those leaves, it would just blur some of those leaves out, and actually I think that might create quite a nice creative feel to some of these images. Almost a little bit like ICM. I've got a 15-second exposure, so if there's any breeze at all, it will pick that up in the image. So I've said it in some of my previous videos before, but when I'm doing woodland photography, one of the things which I'm keeping an eye out for is trees which have a little bit of a character to them, and this is a good example of that. I don't know whether these are the best conditions for photographing this tree, but I'll probably take a shot anyway, and it can always serve as a record shot. But I like, there's just a slight sort of curve in the trunk of the tree, it's a little bit bent, and those are the kind of trees which I like to keep an eye out for. I've got my umbrella out now because it started raining. But actually I think a little bit of rain in the scene might help. It just creates a little bit of atmosphere. I've got the polarizer on, so it's cutting that glare off these leaves along the bottom of the image, because yeah, they're all quite wet now, so they're really shining, so that polarizer just helps to cut that out. But I've got this scene here where I've got these two trees. One of them is one of these orange pines, or orange conifers, and the other one is a fairly young beech tree. And the two of them are sort of sitting side by side, like a couple of little friends in the image, and I think that works quite nicely. So I've just got a very simple image. It's just these two trees side by side. I've managed to cut, I think, most of the sky out of the image, so there's just this nice autumn foliage behind it. And I think with the rain, it's just creating a nice little bit of atmosphere here. What I have had to do is bump my ISO up a little bit, because this breeze keeps coming in and it's moving those leaves around. I think a little bit of movement in those leaves is okay, but at ISO 100 it was just a little bit too much, and it wasn't quite working. So I've pushed that ISO a little bit, so it's speeding my shutter speed up to half of a second at the moment, which I think I can just about get away with. So yeah, I think it works alright. So I have this shot here where I have this one silver birch with the other pine trees around it. And I think what we've been trying to look for is an image where we've got this orange ground in the bottom of the frame, but also we have that transition of orange to green in the background, just from the foliage on the trees itself. But in order to make that work, there needs to be something of interest in the frame as well. So I found this silver birch which is just standing out from the other pine trunks. So it's a fairly simple image. It's just that one trunk of a silver birch surrounded by these pine trunks. But I think that works all right. So I think we're going to call it a day down here now. But I've had a really good morning. How have you found it?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good looking at a new area.
Yeah.
Weather aside, which hasn't been that bad actually.
Actually, it's not been bad. I thought the forecast for today was actually quite heavy rain, so I was slightly hesitant about this morning because I thought we were going to get drenched and be completely soaked. But actually, it's been fine. And this place is known for its beechwood as well. So normally when I've come down here before, I focused on the beechwood, but it's been really quite fun sort of exploring this area. These colours in these trees down here are really interesting.
Oh, yeah, so, I think that section of beech up there is where it's so vast and open.
Yeah.
It needs something like mist or different weather conditions to help make it work.
Definitely needs some mist. If you want to see that place in mist, then I'll pop a link to the video I made there last year where it was perfect conditions for shooting those beech. But anyway, we've had a great morning. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with us in this video, and we'll see you next time.